My name is Doris Kamys, and I am John Kamys' mother. And I'm also a retired Chicago public school administrator, and I love to cook because I love to eat. So I guess if you love to eat, you better learn how to love to cook. I'm confident that we are the best cooks in Chicago. I do not think that there is anybody that can cook any better. There might be some that come a pretty close second, but I don't think there's anyone in Chicago that can make a better meal on the spur of the moment than we can. John and I have cooked together many times when he was a young child growing up. We've been cooking for a long, long time together. You name a restaurant and we've probably been there. And we are also, John will write a review on the restaurants because he likes to compliment when the compliment is due and criticize when it isn't due. So we love to eat, so I think that makes us the best cooks in Chicago. And so I learned from my mother what good cooking was. And I continued that tradition in my kitchen. My friends come over frequently, and I love to entertain, which I do a lot of. As a matter of fact, I have had theme parties. I have a vodka party every year, and then I serve caviar and salmon and maybe stuffed cabbage. I sometimes serve a Russian meal, but most of the time my friends all clamor for my Italian cooking. We argue. That's how we come up with menus, by arguing, and we argue it out, and finally we settle on something. And sometimes he's bossy, and I get mad at that. And I said, "Listen, I'm the authority here." So anyhow, and that's how we end up doing it. But we just had the last couple of days. We've had several conversations regarding food, and he said, "Well, I make this really good blah 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 soup," and I said, "I don't think it's any better than my da 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 soup. So maybe we should have my soup." And I gave in because his soup is delicious. I think I'm an expert cook because I know how to season foods. That would be a specialty because that would not only include Italian food, that would include all other foods. I mean, I kind of have a tendency to stick with the tried and true many times, although I do try new recipes all the time. I've served food in many different ways. I've served it where every dish is plated, as I did the time John was so gracious to help me with that German dinner, and we had all kinds of different plates come out. And I've also served family style. Plating depends on what I'm serving. I think there is nothing less appealing than a plate that comes out and there's stuff all over it and it's not organized. I mean, I like things to look like a picture. If I'm at somebody's house for dinner, I'm certainly not going to criticize that food. I will be a gracious guest. Now, on the other hand, if somebody asks, I do not have a problem telling them what I think of it. We are going to be the winners of the best home cooks in Chicago. John is extraordinarily creative and can come up with creative dishes on the fly. I'm sure that, as I told you before, I have watched some of those cooking shows. Now, if you give me a pig's nose, I might have a difficulty, but if it's something within reason, I'm sure that I can make something out of it. Because, as I said, I learned from my mother, and she could make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. So if Bobby Flay were to tell John and I that we are the best home cooks in the city of Chicago, we would be thrilled and enjoy the honor. What a pat on the back! I don't know. It's not exactly an Oscar, but close to it.